What's going on, everybody? It's your trading update for January 20th. And as we take a look at the SPY chart for the day, we can see the gap that was put in on speculation of QE coming out of the European Central Bank was pretty much just thrown out of the window here off the open as sellers just took over and piled us right back down to SPY 200. A pretty decent move right off the open. And again, it caught people off guard a lot because, again, you look at how we closed the prior day. We closed pretty bullish here and gapped higher, so a lot of people started to speculate on the dip buy back to sort of a swing long kind of mentality. And they went ahead and just threw a wrench into that plan. So we're seeing this a lot lately, with the markets here, after this big pullback off 208. That's happened several times, and this time this V-shaped recovery not really going down like it did before. But for the most part here, we're sticking around 202 on the SPY. There is some weakness across the board, but there are names today that are able to bounce back. If we take a look at these casinos here today, monster move to the downside here on these casinos. Wynn, LVS, you name it, all these things are down a good 3%. And if we look at the monthly activity, we can see that they've been trying to bottom down here. And then it looks like today just kind of gave up. So we'll look at these going forward. Tesla was an interesting name today as it dropped down back close to those lows from when the news came out about the slowing sales in China. So if we take a look at the day's action, we can see here we're pushing here 187. A lot of people were looking for that 185, and then all of a sudden she rallied right back into her range above 190. So she's kind of still stuck here. The most bullish names I would say today, we have this Netflix here really shooting higher after the market couldn't really push lower. But remember, she's got earnings tonight, so this is going to be wild. This is going to be a wild one. Make sure you watch the Netflix earnings this evening. Banks here. Still cannot catch a bid. Still cannot catch a single bid. Bank of America opened up off a nice 20-cent gap up this morning, and then just gave it all up. Gave it all up completely. So there still is time left here to try to go for a bank bounce, but I would look for more weakness here in this sector. Name of the day, though, here is the gold. Continues its sort of stairway to heaven finally as people starting to really like this trade. Monster move here every single day. Up on this thing, maybe in anticipation of the ECB news. Some interesting action in the social networks here today. These are some of the stronger names. So Twitter here, able to hold here. Facebook here, able to hold over 76. And that's about it, guys. That is about it. Most of the chat room spent the day here shorting Baidu. I was short Baidu here from the open, basically. So I had some left overnight, and we take a look at this P&L here. So you can see I was kind of spread out over the 210 put for next week, the one for this week, the 220 for next week, or sorry, for this week, and then the 215 there for next week. So I started piling into these things once, I really saw this thing dump through 220. And I've been thinking long term, she can get down to 210, but this spike back kind of threw a wrench in those plans. So I was up a lot more, and then this squeeze kind of took me out. So I ended up on the day positive though, so not a bad day. All right, so we'll see you guys tomorrow. Make sure again you watch those.